All right, thanks for tuning into Leading Forecast and Hurricane Irene. Here we go. Going to try to get this one done this time. I tell you what, this has not been a good morning for a leading forecast. I'm just letting you know. I've not got this. I've done this a million times and can't get it right. Here we go. Here's Irene spinning down off of Puerto Rico and is really getting itself better organized. A very circular storm down here. Going on over watches and warnings, you can see we do have the hurricane warnings down across the northern portion of the Dominican Republic, with the hurricane watches over northern Haiti, and then tropical storm warnings down across the southern portion of the islands, as well as into the Bahamas. And then we have the hurricane watches a little farther north of that, and eventually these are going to spread north and northwest towards the U.S. mainland, and eventually including the U.S. mainland here over the next several days. Here's the forecast path for Irene. Right now, this is as of 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Position was 19.2 north, 67.5 west, with sustained winds of 80 miles per hour, wind gusts of 95 miles per hour. Movement was west-northwest at 12 miles per hour, with minimum pressure of 988 millibars, or 29.17 inches. And you can see the forecast projected path here brings it anywhere from just off the east coast all the way to the western peninsula of Florida. I think right now the eye projection path is very, very accurate, making it fall early in the morning on Saturday as a Category 3 storm in the central portion of South Carolina, and you're going to see a lot of these models agreeing with that. Talking about the models, let's get on over the CMC model here. We'll zoom in on some of these here so you can see it a little better. The CMC model here showing landfall exactly pretty much where that projected path, the central South Carolina coast. Going over to the ECMWF model. This one brings it a little farther to the north and to the east here, up towards the Cape Hatteras area. And then as we get into the GFDL model, this one brings it actually down towards the Everglades, which I think we can throw that one out. I don't really think we're going to see this hit the Florida Peninsula. We'll just have to wait and see, though. The HWRF, this one brings it again, central South Carolina, as a Category 3 storm. The HFIP model brings it into actually the eastern peninsula of Florida, the central portion of it, bringing it in as a Category 3 hurricane making landfall there. And the NGP model, again, this one brings it up towards the Wilmington area, right on the north-South Carolina state line here. So we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of these bring it up towards the Carolinas. And then here's the GFS doing pretty much the same thing. The GFS forecasting, this one's going to go more up towards the South Carolina, North Carolina shore here. So there's a lot of different models weighing in here. There's a lot of different things that this could do. And here's the model spread here. You can see bringing anywhere from off the East Coast all the way up into the Florida Peninsula here. But I really think that this storm's probably going to come up through here and then just kind of push through and hit the South Carolina shore, somewhere right in that general area. The thing is, a lot of these models now showing, this coming through here. Well, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you why here in just a second. And coming up through here, well, I don't think that if this becomes a Category 3, it's not going to turn like that. If you get a Category 3 developing somewhere in here before it's forecasted to make that big rightward turn, usually the Category 3 storms really don't care what's happening. They'll just kind of push through. They'll just kind of barrel through and keep on the same direction they're going once you get into the major hurricane, just because they're so strong. So just because there's a high sitting out here that's trying to ridge it out here, and a trough that's probably going to be coming through trying to turn it this way, it's probably just going to keep going that way. It's not going to go into the Gulf here. A lot of people saying, well, why is it not going to go into the Gulf, the Florida Peninsula? Well, that's because we have a big high sitting out here, and this hurricane isn't going to come up and try to run into this high. That's just not meteorology. Hurricanes run around the low pressure systems, I should say, run around those, and so that's going to help keep it out of the Gulf and keep it turned up through here. We also have a trough coming in, so that's going to help turn it a little bit to some extent to keep it from going into the Gulf. So there's a lot of players in this game. There's a lot of different things. There's troughs, there's high pressure systems, there's the hurricane itself. So there's wind currents. There's a ton of different things that have been thrown into the pot here that we're going to have to watch over the next several days and see exactly where this storm goes. So anyways, Still a lot to talk about over the next several days. We're going to be talking about the potential impacts of the storm. We're talking not only the high winds, but storm surge, the rain, the flooding, all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that in the next several days. Try to do at least an update a day until an update per day till landfall. So that's all I have now. Thanks for tuning in. I'm lead forecaster Joseph Cooper. You can view this on swiftchaseteam.com or thedailyforecast.net. Have a great week.